Inuyasha, Steps of Orpheous, Prologue. Inuyasha held his feet firmly on the ground as he watched his blade turn black. A shock struck the half-demon, making him burst out in pain. His arms trembled, but he didn't bring it down. He couldn't bring it down. He refused to. Reopening his eyes, he could see Naraku preparing for a final attack. Behind him, Kagome lay barely conscious on the ground. Blood had tainted the white of her uniform, and her skirt had long lost its original emerald glaze.
Damn it!
He could feel her gaze against his back, growing weaker by the second. Gritting his teeth together, he began to focus more energy into his sword. It darkened even further, almost pure black. Still, he held his ground, breathing heavily through his nostrils. Naraku waved his arms open, releasing another dense cloud of poisonous gas.
You will not leave this place alive, Inuyasha!
The Shikon jewel began to glow on his chest, radiating black light towards its surroundings. A dark orb formed between the palms he had gathered in front of his chest. The gas split into two as it glided past the half-demon, pushed away by his demonic energies. His eyes began to turn red, and his pupils changed to a greenish-blue shade. Two purple stripes darkened on his cheeks, and his claws lengthened.
He's changing into a full demon?
Impossible! He's still holding the Tetsaiga!
Naraku!
Inuyasha roared with hatred in his eyes and leapt into the orb. His eyes twitched as a line formed in his vision. He swung his sword into the scar. Wind swirled around the hound, forming what appeared to be a white barrier.
I will finish you with this! You will fall today, Inuyasha!
As he forced his blade forward, a crack echoed from the center. It was breaking.
No. I won't let it end here. Backlash wave!
He pushed his sword further into the orb. The ground cratered underneath him and debris flew upward, some shattering as it hit the layer of wind that surrounded Inuyasha. Then, at where the black light of the jewel and the white radiance of the wind twisted in chaos, a series of red tornadoes began to form.
What in the world?
We have to get out of here now, Sango!
Miroku picked up Kagome on his shoulders, and the two jumped away as quickly as their numbed legs still allowed them. The earth shook under their feet, and the crater created by the clash of attacks enlarged with a loud rumble. The chaos was gaining on the two, pushing them beyond their limits for survival. More tornadoes formed and circulated the area, creating a path of destruction behind them. Then they all came back upon the Tetsaiga as though being sucked back into its point of origin. Focusing into one giant spiral around the blade, it seemed to acquire further energy from Naraku's attack. Inuyasha roared, giving everything he had into this final attack. The cyclone spiraled up toward Naraku, striking the demon directly in his chest. With a blinding explosion, things began to settle into dust. It was all over. The long journey had finally ended. Awkwardly, the feelings Inuyasha had were not that of great relief or joy. Only one thing was on his mind at that moment. He landed on his feet and immediately dashed toward his allies.
Over here! Inuyasha, hurry!
Kneeling down beside the raven-haired girl, he brought her head up and pillowed it onto his lap.
Kagome, it's all over now. We did it.
Kagome opened a crack through her eyelids and smiled weakly back.
Inuyasha. It's so cold. Why is it so cold?
A warm sensation aroused Inuyasha's hand at where he was holding the girl. It was blood. He turned to her with horror.
Am I going to die?
The question dug deep into the half-demon's chest.
What are you talking about, you stupid girl? Of course not. You'll be fine.
His voice quivered under the joking smile he had barely managed.
You're a bad liar, Inuyasha.
Damn it, Kagome, don't say that.
I'm so tired.
No, don't give up on me. Just hold on. Please.
He held the girl closer to him, his eyes returning to their original shade, and tears began to roll silently down.
I'm so sleepy.
Come on. Open your eyes. Don't do this.
The young priestess glanced through the crack in her eye.
I didn't want to die yet.
And you're not going to.
never even got to show you just how much I loved you.
She raised a hand and brushed away the tears that were rolling down his face. Then, the hand fell.
Kagome?
Her eyes closed, and with a final heave of breath, her muscles relaxed.
Quit joking around. This isn't funny.
She didn't look like she was dying. Her face was so peaceful, and her smile showed no sign of pain. It was like she was asleep and dreaming about something nice. Moroku silently closed his eyes, and Sango had turned hers away.
Kagome?
Inuyasha gurgled, giving the limp girl a few shakes.
Kagome!
The silence that came after prolonged the fading echoes of the futile call.
I swear, Kagome.
His voice was low against her shoulder.
I will bring you back. Even if I have to fight through the flames of the underworld. I will bring you back.